As you know, each week I'll be reading a story to you from one of my books that I have published now. And today I'm going to be reading from my first book. It's called Tales from the Life of a Pre-Divorced Little Christian Girl. It's for sale now, so you can go to Facebook and find the Naked Truth with Alicia new fan page and click on the link at the bottom left corner and purchase the books. But here's just a little clue for what our story will be about today.
It's the boogers!
Hey, Benny, what are you doing?
Just hanging out. Well, that's a booger for you.
So that story's on the way. I know the anticipation will kill you over the next few moments until it gets here. There are two hormones, beta endorphins, which are in the family of chemicals that elevate mood state, and human growth hormone, or HGH, which you may be familiar with, which helps with optimizing immunity. They were increased 27% and 87% respectively in study subjects who anticipated watching a humorous video. Well, they found that mirthful laughter was a preventative adjunct therapy in diabetes care, raising good cholesterol and actually lowering inflammation. Now, that's pretty amazing stuff. It really preaches to me, in a very scientific, non-religious sort of way, that it's the expectation of laughter, what they call mirthful laughter, that bolsters good health and fights off bad health. Hope for good things to come is a powerful force in life. We've discussed my firm belief that thriving in life only comes when we're healthy emotionally, physically, and spiritually. Here we find a naturally occurring phenomenon that bolsters both emotions and physical well-being. I would dare to venture that it most likely influences your spiritual well-being too. Now that I've graciously raised your beta endorphins by 27% and increased your HGH levels by 87% as you eagerly anticipate my upcoming humorous story, it is time once again for...
Oh, you guys made me eat.
Here we go, throwing boogers. Admittedly, the first few years of parenthood are consumed with bodily functions. It begins even before birth, especially for the pregnant woman who feels everything pressing on everything else. Going can be quite a family celebration. The party continues after birth. Diapers are a huge part of babyhood. Easily we learn to discuss texture, color, and volume while eating supper, oftentimes never missing a bite. Hand washing becomes optional after diaper number 24,061. Might as well build up those immunities, right? I'm finding that the focus of these bodily functions changes with time. The diapers are gone from our home these days. We now have ongoing discussions about where boogers are supposed to be placed once they've been removed from the nasal cavity. Inevitably, these discussions begin with the observation of one of my children with a finger firmly planted up the nose. Hand washing seems to become less optional at those moments. A tissue is retrieved and the wayward nasal accessory is disposed of properly, when I have caught them ahead of time, that is. It's the times that I don't see them that haunt me. How many times has my hand run over a bed rail to meet a crunchy end? The other night in a dark room, my 4-year-old son and I were snuggling up on the bed to watch a video before bedtime. My husband had just walked into the room and sat on the end of the bed to chat as we settled in. Suddenly, I saw my son's hand quickly rise up and down in front of me. Then I felt a small foreign object hit my forehead. Luckily, it bounced off quickly. It took a few seconds to register the texture and consistency of that object. Then I forcefully asked, "Did you just throw a booger at me?" My husband immediately fell off the bed laughing. My son nodded his head, yes, as he too laughed. I failed to see the humor in this situation. I began exclaiming that this is not the way to deal with nasal expulsions. The laughter only escalated. Once my husband peeled himself off the floor, he tried to have a serious conversation with my son about a little company called Kleenex.
That's a booger for you.
And we are having open joke season, so feel free to call in right here at 229-259-9210.
Go on, tell us a joke. Oh, I love jokes.
Today's show has been on laughter and the importance of learning to laugh again after a time of tragedy, or even learning to set times, specific times aside where you know you're going to have fun, you're going to anticipate having fun, even in the middle of a very trying time. So let's go to the phone lines. We've got somebody on. Hi, you're live and on the air right here on 92.1.
Hey, a man walks into a bar with a duck on his head, and the bartender looks up and says, "Hey, we don't serve pigs here." And the man says, "That's not a pig, it's a duck." And the bartender says, "I was talking to the duck."
Oh!
Bye.
Thanks for calling in.
That's very funny to me. Y'all ain't laughing though.
I don't want to talk to you no more, you empty-headed animal food trough whopper.